All right, so looks like everyone's been sending us tons of stuff about cycling gloves.
Yeah, notes, articles, even forum threads, huh?
It seems like our listeners are ready to really step up their writing game.
Smart move, too.
Yeah.
Gloves might seem like a small thing,
Oh, yeah, no.
but they can seriously make or break your ride.
It's true. It's funny. Like, I remember when I first started cycling, I was like, gloves?
Yeah.
Are those just for keeping my hands warm? I was so wrong.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there's way more to it than just warmth, that's for sure.
So much more.
It's like, think of them like a multi-tool for your hands when you're on the bike. Protection, comfort, and even like a performance enhancer.
So we've got all this research here about cycling gloves.
Yeah.
Why they matter, how to choose the right ones, the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Our mission today is to break all this down
Yeah.
and turn it into the ultimate guide to cycling gloves,
All right, sounds good to me.
just for our amazing listeners out there.
Let's do it.
So first things first, why even bother with gloves?
I
I mean,
Good question.
aren't our hands tough enough on their own?
Well, not really.
Okay.
Even if you never wipe out, your hands are taking a beating out there on a bike.
Yeah, that's true.
Constant vibrations, pressure on the handlebars, being exposed to the elements.
Yeah.
Gloves act like a buffer between your hands and all that stress.
Right. And I feel like it's similar to, like, those gel inserts that you put in your cycling shoes?
Oh, for sure.
Like those little things, they make such a huge difference.
Totally.
And it's the same idea with the gloves, I think.
Absolutely.
And let's not forget, safety.
Oh, yeah.
Even
Yeah.
a minor fall can really mess up your hands.
Big time.
And gloves give you that added layer of protection.
Especially the ones with, reinforced palms and knuckles.
Oh, yeah.
Those are great.
I had this wipeout on a gravel road one time.
Oh, no.
And I was wearing gloves, and they literally saved my skin.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a few scrapes on the gloves, but my hands were totally fine.
See, I told you, gloves are your hand's best friend on the bike.
I think you're right about that.
For sure.
So we've established that gloves are a good thing.
Absolutely.
But there are so many different types out there.
Yeah.
How do you know where to begin?
Well, one of the first things you got to consider is the style. Are we talking fingerless mitts or are we talking full finger gloves?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, it's like the age-old shorts versus pants debate, but for your hands.
I like that analogy.
Uh-huh, right.
So what are the pros and cons of each style?
Sure, so fingerless mitts, those are great for like warm weather because they let your hands breathe
Yeah.
and give you a more direct feel on the handlebars.
I feel like they look cool too.
They do.
Yeah.
But, if it's cooler out or you need more protection, you got to go with the full finger gloves.
Yeah, for sure.
Those are the way to go.
I wouldn't even think of hitting the trails in the winter without my full finger gloves.
Right.
Got to keep those fingers warm
Yeah.
and protected from all the branches and stuff.
Yeah, you need that protection for
Yeah.
sure. And actually, some full finger gloves even have like touchscreen compatible fingertips these days.
Oh, wow. That's fancy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So you can use your phone without taking your gloves off.
Yep, super handy.
Okay, so we talked about style.
Right.
Now let's get into the padding.
All right.
I was reading some of these articles,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to say, they go deep into the science of padding.
Oh, yeah.
It's really interesting stuff.
It is. It's pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
So padding basically plays this crucial role in absorbing all those vibrations I was talking about before.
Right.
And without it, those vibrations travel right up your arms,
Uh-oh.
which can lead to fatigue and numbness, even pain, especially on longer rides.
Okay, I'm starting to see why it's important.
Yeah.
It's like the difference between driving on a smooth highway versus like a bumpy dirt road.
Ooh, yeah.
Your car absorbs the shocks on the highway, but on that dirt road, you feel every single bump.
Exactly.
It's the same thing with your hands on the handlebars.
Totally.
So padding in your gloves is basically like your car's suspension system.
I like that.
Makes a big difference in how your hands feel.
Especially on rough terrain or those long rides.
So it's not just comfort.
No.
It's also preventing damage in the long run.
Yeah, long-term damage to your hands and your wrists.
Gotcha.
Think about it. The nerves and blood vessels in your hands, they're pretty delicate,
Yeah, okay.
And those constant vibrations, they can actually compress those nerves.
Oh, no.
Which can lead to numbness, tingling, even
Okay.
carpal tunnel syndrome in some cases.
Ouch.
Yeah, no good.
So padding is basically like armor for your hands.
Exactly.
Protecting them from all that stress.
Protecting those delicate structures
Yeah.
from those microtraumas.
I'm learning so much.
Good.
It's amazing, like, how much technology goes into something
Oh, yeah.
as simple as a glove.
Right. It's pretty wild.
It is. It's pretty wild.
And we haven't even gotten to the materials yet.
Ooh, okay, so
There's a whole other world to explore there.
yeah, let's dive into that.
Yeah.
What are these gloves actually made of?
Uh,
Like, is there a best material for cycling gloves?
well, I'd say it depends on your needs, and your preferences.
Okay.
Some popular materials are synthetics,
Like what?
like polyester, nylon.
Okay.
Those are lightweight, durable, and they're moisture wicking.
Moisture wicking, so that means they keep your hands dry.
You got it.
Okay.
Because nobody likes like sweaty hands.
Especially when you're gripping those handlebars.
Especially, yeah.
Whoa.
And synthetics are generally pretty affordable too.
So they're practical and budget friendly.
Exactly.
Okay, what else is there?
Well, you've got leather, which is like, classic.
Yeah.
It's durable and it offers a great grip,
Okay.
but leather's not as breathable as the synthetics.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's not the best in hot weather.
So leather for durability and grip, synthetics for breathability and value.
I like how you're putting that together.
What about natural fibers?
Ah, yes. Merino wool.
Ooh, okay.
That's a great natural fiber for cycling gloves.
I love merino wool.
Yeah, it's soft, warm, it breathes well,
It's so soft.
and it's naturally odor resistant.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's a plus.
I have a merino wool base layer that I wear in the winter,
Oh, nice.
and it keeps me so warm without feeling bulky.
Exactly. Same principle with the gloves.
That makes sense.
Merino wool is a great option if you prefer natural fibers
Yeah, okay.
or if you have sensitive skin.
So we got a good overview of the materials now.
Yeah.
But how do I know which one's right for me?
Well, it depends, right?
Yeah.
Depends on your riding style
Sure.
and the conditions you're going to be riding in.
Right.
If you're riding in the heat, you want something breathable and moisture wicking,
Yeah.
like a synthetic or merino wool. But if you need like extra durability, for like mountain biking or gravel grinding,
Yeah.
then leather might be a better choice for you.
So it's matching the material to what you need and what you prefer.
Yeah,
Kind of like choosing the right bike.
exactly.
You got it.
So speaking of matching, how do you choose the right gloves
Ooh, that's a good segue.
for different types of cycling?
I like it.
We've got a lot of info here about road cycling, out biking, commuting.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like each discipline has its own like special needs when it comes to gloves.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Okay.
So let's start with road cycling.
Okay, so let's say I'm a roadie,
Right.
all about speed and efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of gloves am I looking for?
So road cyclists, they usually prefer gloves that are lightweight,
Okay.
streamlined, and with minimal padding.
Okay, so like not a lot of bulk.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Because you want to maximize your control and minimize bulk, which lets you get that close aerodynamic fit on the handlebars. Makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
Every little bit counts when you're trying to go fast.
Exactly. Got to be aerodynamic.
Yeah, for sure.
And breathability is key for road cycling,
Oh, yeah.
especially when it's hot out.
Especially in the summer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fingerless mitts are a popular choice, obviously,
Okay.
for warmer rides.
Makes sense.
But lightweight full finger gloves are better when it's colder.
Okay, so lightweight, breathable, aerodynamic.
That's the ticket.
Got it.
All right, now what about those mountain bikers?
Yeah, those guys are dealing with a totally different set of challenges out there
They are big time.
on those trails.
You're telling me.
Yeah,
So mountain bikers, they need gloves that can handle the rough terrain,
right.
potential crashes, and all sorts of weather conditions.
Yeah.
Durability is key.
Oh, yeah.
And so is protection.
Because you're more likely to,
Exactly.
fall on a trail than on a road.
Much more likely, yeah.
Right.
So mountain bike gloves,
Okay.
they typically have reinforced palms and knuckles. Oh, okay.
And extra padding to absorb those impacts.
Gotcha.
Full finger gloves are generally preferred
Yeah.
for that added protection.
And what about grip?
Oh, grip is super important
Yeah.
when you're navigating those technical trails.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Yeah. Look for gloves that have like silicone or a textured palm.
Okay.
That way you have a secure grip,
Yeah.
even in wet or muddy conditions.
That makes sense.
Don't want your hands slipping off the handlebars when you're flying down a hill.
No, that would not be good.
Yeah, you'd be in trouble.
Okay, so we've got road cycling.
Right.
We've got mountain biking.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what about commuting?
Good question.
What about those people who are just riding around town every day?
Commuting is all about versatility
Okay,
and practicality,
right.
You want gloves that are comfortable no
Yeah.
matter the weather, have good grip, and offer you, some level of protection.
Because you're dealing with rain, wind, cold,
That's right.
all that stuff.
You got to be prepared for anything.
Yeah.
And you got to be visible to cars, right?
Oh, yeah. That's huge.
Yeah.
So, look for gloves that are water resistant or waterproof,
Okay.
depending on where you live.
Right.
And consider gloves with reflective details.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah, so you're more visible in low light.
Like little safety lights built into your gloves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And some commuting gloves.
Yeah.
Even have those touchscreen compatible fingertips.
Oh, wow. They think of everything.
They do. They really do.
So you can use your phone or your bike computer
Yeah.
without taking your gloves off.
Super convenient.
So we've covered style, padding, materials, how those relate to different types of riding.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much there is to know about cycling gloves.
Right. It's a whole world.
It really is.
And we haven't even scratched the surface when it comes to fit, sizing, and those all-important weatherproofing technologies.
Oh, yeah.
We could talk about those forever.
There's so much more to explore.
so much more.
But before we get too ahead of ourselves,
Right.
let's come back.
Okay.
And we'll dive into
Okay.
all those other essential aspects of choosing the perfect
Right.
pair of cycling gloves.
Yeah, that's good to me.
So before we were talking about all those weatherproofing technologies.
Yeah. Right?
That stuff just blew my mind.
Yeah, there's a lot of science.
It's high tech.
Yeah, that goes into keeping your hands, dry and comfortable.
Yeah.
Especially in wet conditions. I mean, think about it. You've got wind, rain, maybe even snow out there.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want that moisture seeping into your gloves.
Oh, wait.
It's the worst.
I've been caught in a few downpours without waterproof gloves, and it's not fun.
Yeah, it's miserable.
Your hands get so cold and wet, and it's hard to even hold on to the handlebars.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's where, those waterproof membranes come in.
Exactly. They're like
Okay.
thin layers of material
Yeah.
that act as a barrier
Okay.
to keep the water out.
So it's not like wearing a rubber glove. Then
No.
my hands can still breathe.
Exactly. Yeah, you still want your hands to breathe.
Okay, good.
Nobody wants sweaty, clammy hands,
Yeah.
even on a rainy day.
That good.
Some membranes are actually microporous,
Oh, wow.
That means they have tiny little holes
Okay.
that are too small for water droplets to get through,
Okay.
but big enough for water vapor to escape.
It's like a science experiment in a glove.
It really is.
So what about the seams, though?
Oh, yeah, good point.
Can't water sneak in through those tiny little stitch holes?
Yeah, the seams are definitely a potential weak point,
Okay.
but that's why they have taped seams.
Oh, okay.
So they seal the seams with waterproof tape.
It's like those waterproof jackets with the sealed zippers,
Exactly, same idea.
creating that totally sealed environment.
Yep.
Smart.
Some gloves even have extended cuffs,
Oh, yeah.
that go over your jacket sleeves.
Okay.
So water can't run down your arms
Oh, that's smart.
into your gloves.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a nice little feature.
Okay, so we've got waterproof membranes,
Right.
tape seams for wet weather.
Mm-hmm.
But what about when it's freezing out?
Oh, yeah, when it's really cold.
How do you keep your hands warm on those super cold days?
Well, that's where insulation comes in.
Okay.
Winter cycling gloves, they often have multiple layers of insulation,
Like what kind of stuff?
like fleece
Oh,
or thinsulate,
okay.
which helps trap the heat and keep your fingers toasty.
Ghosty fingers. Nice.
And you can't forget about wind.
Oh, yeah, true.
Wind chill can make a huge difference.
Yeah, it can make it feel way colder.
Yeah, so a lot of winter gloves have windproof outer layers.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
So it's like wearing a tiny little windbreaker for your hands.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
some manufacturers even use
Mhm.
fancy stuff like ceramic coatings
Yeah, that's high tech.
or reflective materials to enhance warmth.
Exactly. Reflect heat back to your hands.
It's crazy how much technology they pack into these gloves.
No, right?
I never thought about it before.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
All about maximizing, performance and enjoyment,
Yeah.
no matter the conditions.
No matter what Mother Nature throws at you,
Exactly.
you'll be ready.
You got it.
Okay, so weatherproofing is super important, obviously.
Of course.
But one thing I've noticed
Mm-hmm.
in all this research
Yeah.
is the importance of fit.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like getting the right size is absolutely crucial.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
A poorly fitting glove is almost as bad as not wearing gloves at all.
Oh, wow.
It can lead to blisters, fatigue in your hands, even numbness.
I remember trying on a pair of gloves once that were way too small.
Oh, no.
My fingers felt so cramped,
Oh, I bet.
and I could barely hold on to the handlebars.
Yeah, that's no good.
It was bad.
Yeah, it's like wearing shoes that are too tight,
Yeah.
They might look cool, but they're going to hurt.
Yeah, and they cut off your circulation. It's not good.
So getting that right fit
Okay.
is really important
Yeah.
for preventing hand numbness and all sorts of problems.
So how do I know
Yeah.
if I found the right size?
Yes, the question.
Is it just trial and error?
Well, most manufacturers,
Okay.
they have size charts
Okay.
that you can refer to.
So you just measure your hand
Exactly.
and look at the chart.
Yeah, they typically base sizing on
Yeah.
hand circumference
Okay.
or length.
And that's it.
Well, it's important to remember
Yeah.
that sizing can vary between brands.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
Yeah, so if you can, it's always a good idea to,
Try them on.
try the gloves on before you buy them.
Yeah, in person.
See how they feel.
What about those gloves with the adjustable closures?
Oh, yeah, those are great.
Like the Velcro?
Mm-hmm.
Do those help you get a more custom fit?
Totally.
Okay.
Those Velcro closures or cinch straps
Yeah.
let you fine-tune the fit, so they stay securely in place without feeling too tight.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
It's like built-in tailoring for your gloves.
I like that. It is.
And you know what else I was thinking about?
Yeah.
What's that? Like, you got to pay attention to the fit of the fingers, too.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah,
yes.
you want them to be long enough
Mm-hmm.
so your fingertips aren't jammed up against the end,
Right.
but not so long that the fabric bunches up.
Yeah, you don't want too much extra material in there.
It's got to be just right.
Gotta find that Goldilocks zone.
Yeah.
Not too tight, not too loose.
Just right.
And speaking of fit,
Yeah.
we gotta think about, different hand shapes
Oh, yeah.
and sizes.
Because I have pretty small hands.
I hear ya.
And sometimes it's hard to find gloves that fit.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's tough.
A lot of gloves seem to be designed for,
Yeah.
average size hands.
Yeah. Exactly.
But luckily,
Yeah.
more and more brands are recognizing
Okay.
the need for, more inclusive sizing.
That's
So you can now find gloves in a wider range of sizes,
awesome.
including XS and even XXS,
Oh,
which are specifically designed for smaller hands.
that makes me happy.
Good. I'm glad.
It's great that the industry's becoming more inclusive
It is. Yeah.
and catering to all different kinds of riders.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, exactly.
And on the other end of the spectrum,
Yeah.
some brands offer larger sizes
Okay.
and wider fits
Right.
for
Yeah.
people with bigger hands.
So everyone's covered.
Everyone can find a good pair of gloves.
It's all about finding the right brands
Exactly.
that, work for your body type.
Exactly. That's the key.
So fit is just one piece of the puzzle.
One piece of the puzzle, yeah.
We still need to talk about glove care.
Right.
How to prevent hand numbness
Mm-hmm.
and all sorts of other stuff.
All the important things.
Right.
So much to talk
I
about.
have so much to cover.
Yeah, we could go on forever.
We could. So let's jump into those other essential aspects of cycling gloves.
Okay, let's do it.
So you mentioned hand numbness earlier,
Oh, yeah.
and that's something I've definitely experienced on rides.
Mm-hmm.
Where my hands start tingling, they even go numb.
Yeah.
It's not a good feeling.
It's not fun.
No, it's not fun at all.
And it's a common problem, too.
Really?
Yeah, it can really, put a start to your ride.
Yeah.
But the good news is,
Right.
it's usually preventable
Okay, good.
with the right gloves
Okay.
and a few adjustments.
So what causes hand numbness in the first place?
Well, what we talked about before,
Okay.
those vibrations from the road or the trail,
Yeah.
they can actually compress the nerves in your hands,
Okay.
which leads to that numbness and tingling
Gotcha.
and ill-fitting gloves.
Yeah.
They can make this problem even worse
Oh, so.
because they can restrict blood flow or put pressure on those nerves.
So it's like wearing shoes that are too tight.
Exactly.
They might look good,
Mm-hmm.
but they can cut off your circulation and cause pain.
Exactly. So finding gloves
Okay.
that fit properly
Yeah.
is crucial.
Okay, so fit is important.
Super important.
Okay.
What about those gel pads?
Oh,
We
yeah.
talked about those earlier.
Yeah, do those help with numbness?
They do, yeah.
Okay.
Gel padding,
Yeah,
it absorbs a lot of those vibrations,
Okay.
which takes the stress off your hands.
that makes sense.
But it's important to
Yeah.
have gloves with gel pads that are in the right places
Oh. Yeah.
and that don't move around when you're riding.
So it's not just about having gel.
Right.
It's about having the right kind of gel in the right spots.
You got it.
Okay. What else can we do?
Well, you might want to consider your bike fit too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if your handlebars
Yeah.
are too low or too far away,
Okay.
it can put extra strain on your hands and wrists.
Right. Like if you try to type on a keyboard,
Totally.
it's too high or too low.
Exactly.
Like it's your wrists hurt.
So if you're experiencing hand numbness, it might be worth getting a professional bike fit
Okay.
to optimize your riding position.
That's a good idea.
And one more thing.
Okay.
People often forget about their grip position.
Okay.
If you're always gripping the handlebars the same way,
Yeah.
it can put pressure on certain nerves in your hands.
Right, like if you hold your phone the same way for too long,
Exactly.
your hand starts to cramp.
So try to switch up your grip throughout your ride.
Okay.
Use different parts of your hand to hold the handlebars.
Okay, good tip.
And take breaks to, like, stretch
Okay.
and shake out your hands.
I'll definitely try to be more mindful of that.
Good.
So now let's talk about glove care.
All right, yeah, glove care.
This might seem a bit basic,
Yeah.
but it's really important.
It is.
It's all about, taking care of your gloves.
Right.
So they last longer
Yeah.
and perform well.
It's like taking care of any piece of gear, you know?
Yeah.
You want it to last.
Exactly.
So what are your best tips?
Well, first, always check the care instructions
Oh, yeah, good point.
that the manufacturer provides.
Right, because different gloves have different needs.
Exactly. I wouldn't want to ruin my gloves by washing them the wrong way.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
So definitely check the tag.
Read the tag.
Okay.
But in general,
Yep.
most cycling gloves can be hand washed
Okay.
or machine washed on a gentle cycle
Okay.
in cold water.
So no hot water,
No hot water.
no throwing them in with the towels.
No, not a good idea.
And what about detergents?
Avoid harsh detergents
Okay.
and bleach.
Gotcha.
Those can damage the materials.
Okay, that makes sense.
And for drying,
Yeah.
air drying is best.
Okay.
Lay them flat or
Okay.
hang them up
Hi.
away from direct heat or sunlight.
So no radiator,
Whoa.
no clothesline in the hot sun,
Exactly, you got it.
and then store them in a cool, dry place.
Yep, once they're dry.
So no sweaty gym bag,
No, definitely not.
no hot car.
No, keep them somewhere nice and cool.
I think we've covered a lot.
We've gone deep on gloves.
We've gone from like glove novices to glove gurus.
I like that.
It's amazing how much there is to know about cycling gloves.
Right.
I never realized.
It's a whole world.
It really is.
It's all about those little details that
Yeah.
can make a big difference
Yeah.
in comfort, performance, and enjoyment out there on the bike.
So as we wrap up our glove extravaganza,
I love that.
what's the one thing
Mm-hmm.
you want our listeners to remember?
I'd say the most important thing is to choose gloves that are made for the type of cycling you do.
Okay.
You know, road cycling, mountain biking, commuting.
Right.
Each one has its own needs.
It makes sense.
And there are gloves designed to meet those specific needs.
Don't forget about fit, padding, materials.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
All those weatherproofing technologies.
It all matters.
Do your research, experiment,
Yeah.
and find the gloves that make you feel
Exactly.
confident,
Mm-hmm.
comfortable, ready to ride.
That's the key.
I love it.
So we want to hear from you guys.
Yes.
Tell us
Yeah.
what are your favorite cycling gloves and why.
Let us know.
Share your insights
Yeah, tell us what you think.
and experiences on our social media.
We're always looking for new recommendations.
Always looking for new gloves to try.
All right, that's all for today.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Happy riding, everyone.
And keep those hands happy with a great pair of gloves.
Bye.